You uppity black women always think you're better than everyone else. Officer Munson grabs Andrea Thomas and slams her face into the booking counter at Metro Police 12th Precinct. Her glasses fly off as Sergeant Kramer shoves her into a metal chair. 30 minutes since the traffic stop. They confiscated everything, phone, wallet, Idaho cards, all in an evidence bag on the counter. Munson picks up electric clippers. Buzzing fills the room. Searching for contraband. Andrea stays calm. That's not legal procedure. I decide what's legal. He glances at the evidence bag and sees her IDs. His face hardens. This just got interesting. The clippers hit her scalp. 23 years of hair falls onto concrete. Andrea doesn't cry. She memorizes everything. The body camera on Kramer's chest still recording. Badge 4856. Brooks motionless by the door. Clock, 11:48 p.m. Monday morning, these officers walk into federal court for their civil rights trial. That's when they'll understand what they've done. 6 hours earlier, Andrea Thomas sits in her chambers at the federal district courthouse. The Martinez case file spreads across her desk. Case number 24 CV 9134. Martinez versus Metro Police Department. Civil rights violations. Tomorrow morning, emergency hearing. The plaintiff claims departmental retaliation. Her law clerk, Eric Bennett, enters with a tablet. The deposition's uploaded. Read Officer Munson's testimony. Page 47. Andrea scrolls through. Officer Derek Munson, 12-year veteran, lead defendant. His deposition is evasive. When asked about grooming violations, he claims procedure. When shown the contradicting manual, he calls it outdated. He's lying under oath, Andrea says. The plaintiff wants sanctions. Remove Munson from duty. Andrea checks the time. 4:15 p.m. I'll review at home tonight. Be careful, Judge Thomas. This case will make headlines. Andrea drives herself. The parking garage is empty on Saturday evening. Her car sits under a flickering light. She doesn't notice the patrol car 2 rows over. Her taillight works when she leaves. 3 blocks later, it's broken. She doesn't know. 11:03 p.m. Blue lights flash behind her. Quiet street near the precinct. She pulls over. 2 officers approach. The driver taps her window. Metro Police 12th Precinct, nameplate Munson. Andrea's stomach drops. Derek Munson, tomorrow's defendant. License and registration. She hands over her documents, her judicial ID included. Munson walks to his patrol car. The second officer stays. Sergeant Kramer, also in the lawsuit. Not coincidence. Munson returns. Taillights out. It worked earlier. Step out of the vehicle. This is routine. Step out now. Andrea complies. Munson grabs her arm. Handcuffs out. Officer Munson, resisting makes this worse. Metal clicks tight. Kramer radios. Suspicious person resisting. Transport to 12th Precinct. In the patrol car, Andrea watches through the window. Munson examines her judicial ID under his flashlight. Shows Kramer. They look back at her. They know who she is. The hearing is in 11 hours. Andrea is the judge assigned to rule on their misconduct. Now, she's their prisoner. The patrol car pulls away from her vehicle. Heads toward Metro Police 12th Precinct. Toward booking. Toward whatever they have planned. Andrea memorizes everything. The route, the time, the procedure. Because judges don't just disappear without consequences. But for tonight, she's alone. In custody. At their mercy. Tomorrow morning's hearing suddenly feels very far away. The drive to Metro Police 12th Precinct takes 8 minutes. Andrea counts every turn. Through the metal grate separating her from the front seat, she watches Munson and Kramer talk. They're looking at her judicial ID, examining it. They know. The precinct garage has 3 visible cameras covering the intake area. Andrea notes their positions as they pull her from the car. The handcuffs stay on. Heavy door, booking area. Fluorescent lights burn overhead. Everything echoes on polished concrete. A young officer stands near the booking desk. Nameplate, Brooks, fresh from the academy. He glances at Andrea, then away. Another one for processing, Munson announces. Broken taillight, failure to comply, suspicious behavior. Brooks pulls up a form. Name, Andrea Thomas. He types. Address, Andrea provides information. When he asks occupation, she pauses. Federal District Court Judge, Civil Rights Division. Brooks's fingers freeze. He looks at Munson. Sir, she says, I heard. Munson dumps Andrea's belongings on the counter. Phone, wallet, judicial ID with federal seal. Process her like anyone else. Brooks picks up the ID. His hands shake. This looks official, shouldn't we? Brooks, do your job. Sergeant Kramer steps closer. Or find another precinct. The rookie's face pales. He sets down the ID and continues typing. Andrea watches Brooks struggle. He's afraid. Not of her, of Munson and Kramer. The old guard protecting territory. New officers caught in the middle. I need a phone call, Andrea says. It's my right, after processing. Munson removes her handcuffs but grabs her arm again. First, contraband search. A female officer should conduct any search. We don't have female officers available. Kramer smirks. Except me, and I'm supervising. Then wait until proper staff arrives. Or we search now under probable cause. You acted suspiciously during the stop. Andrea's pulse pounds. This matches the Martinez case exactly. Fabricated probable cause, dignity violations, all documented in tomorrow's lawsuit. I want a supervisor. I am the supervisor on duty. Kramer crosses her arms. We need full search, including hair. Andrea's breath catches. Hair search. The exact violation Maria Martinez described. The same violation 8 other women reported. They're doing it to her. The judge hearing their case. Munson looks at Brooks. Get the clippers from supply. Brooks doesn't move. Sir, I don't think. You don't think. You follow orders. Get the clippers. Brooks walks away slowly, returns with an electric clipper kit, sets it on the counter and steps back. Munson plugs in the clippers. Buzzing starts. Sit down, Your Honor. He points to the metal chair. Won't take long. Andrea considers refusing, but resistance gives them excuses. She sits. The chair is cold, bolted to the floor. Kramer positions behind her, hands on Andrea's shoulders, pressing down. The message is clear. Munson holds the clippers near her face. Policy allows hair searches when concealment is suspected. That policy doesn't exist. I've read the Metro PD manual. Maybe you read an old version. He moves behind her. We're just doing our job. Andrea tries once more. Officer Derek Munson, badge 4856. I'm stating for the record I don't consent. This is assault. This will be documented. Your Honor can file complaints Monday morning. His voice is right behind her ear. If you make it to Monday. The blade touches her scalp. Andrea feels the pull. The clippers bite through her hair. Each strand separates. The sensation is violating. Her hair starts falling. 23 years of growth, law school, bar exam, first case, judicial confirmation. Each coil represents milestones, memories, identity. Munson works methodically, not rushing. This is about humiliation. Each pass takes more. Her hair falls in sections onto concrete. The sound is too soft, gentle, opposite of the violence. Brooks stands near the door, face pale. He looks at the hair, at Andrea, then away. His hand moves toward his radio twice, stops both times. He wants to intervene. He doesn't. Andrea understands. Brooks is new. Student loans, maybe family. Speaking up costs everything. The system protects itself. But she files it away. Brooks hesitated. His conscience might outweigh fear later. Hold still, Kramer says, pressing harder. Don't want the clippers to slip. The threat is clear. Behave or this worsens. Andrea holds still, not from fear, because she's documenting. The body camera on Kramer's chest is recording. 3 fixed cameras in the booking area. Brooks is a witness. Everything is evidence. Munson finishes the left side, moves right. More hair falls. Andrea sees her reflection in the window. Patches of scalp showing. Asymmetry of incomplete violence. Almost done, Munson says. Pleased. Gotta check everything thoroughly. He's not checking. He's erasing. Every pass strips authority, dignity, power, but power doesn't live in hair. It lives in knowledge, documentation. The legal system she's mastered over 15 years. Final pass. Andrea's head is shaved. She feels air on her scalp. Strange, vulnerable, exposed. Munson reaches for a spray bottle. Department policy requires delousing after hair removal. No such policy exists. Andrea knows. But resistance is futile now. The chemical hits her scalp, burns, stings. The smell is harsh. Her eyes water. Munson holds up a mirror, shoves it at her face. Take a good look, Your Honor. This is what happens when people forget their place. Andrea looks at her reflection. Bare scalp, her face, her eyes. She doesn't see defeat. She sees clarity. They just created the most powerful evidence in the Martinez case. They violated a federal judge using the same method used on Maria Martinez and 8 others. All black women, all natural hair, all fabricated pretenses. Are we done? Andrea asks quietly. We're done when I say. Munson unplugs the clippers. Take her to holding 3. No phone call till morning. Kramer pulls Andrea up, marches her down a hallway, dimmer lights, colder air. Cell 3. Kramer unlocks and pushes Andrea inside. Small cell, metal bench, toilet, nothing else. Door clangs shut. Andrea sits on the bench, touches her head once, not in grief, measuring, memorizing. When she testifies, she'll describe every detail. Footsteps in the hallway, voices. Kramer. She's secure, no problems. Another voice. Phone call logged? Munson. What phone call? Laughter echoes. Andrea lies on the thin mattress, closes her eyes, not to sleep, to think. Tomorrow morning, 10:30, emergency hearing. Eric will notice when she doesn't arrive. He'll call. He'll escalate. The system will notice a missing federal judge. Then everything Munson and Kramer did unravels. She just has to wait. The body cameras recorded, the witnesses saw, the evidence exists. Monday morning, courtroom 6. Their careers end there. Andrea sits because refusing gives them more excuses. The metal chair is cold, institutional, bolted down. Sergeant Kramer stands behind her, both hands on Andrea's shoulders, pressing. Don't move, don't resist. Munson holds the clippers in front of her face. Policy allows hair searches when contraband concealment is suspected. That policy doesn't exist. Andrea keeps her voice steady. I've read the Metro PD manual. No provision for forcible hair removal. Maybe you read an old version. The clippers move closer, buzzing louder. Andrea tries again. Officer Derek Munson, badge 4856. I'm stating clearly I don't consent. This is assault. This will be documented. Your Honor can file complaints Monday morning. His voice is behind her ear. If you make it to Monday. The blade touches her scalp. The pull is immediate. The clippers bite through. Each strand separates. Violating. Intimate. Wrong. Her hair falls. 23 years of growth. Started in law school. Wore it through her bar exam. Through her first case. Through judicial confirmation. Each coil is a milestone. A memory. Identity. Munson works methodically, not rushing. This is humiliation. Each pass takes more. Her hair falls in sections onto concrete. The sound is soft, gentle, opposite of the violence. Brooks stands near the door, face pale. He looks at the hair, at Andrea, away. His hand moves toward his radio. Twice. Both times he stops. He wants to intervene. He doesn't. Andrea understands. Brooks is new, loans, maybe family. Speaking up costs everything. The system protects itself, but she files it. Brooks hesitated. Later, conscience might outweigh fear. Hold still, Kramer says, pressing harder. Don't want accidents. The threat is clear. Andrea holds still, not from fear, because she's documenting. Body camera on Kramer's chest recording. 3 fixed cameras in booking. Brooks witnessing. Everything is evidence. Munson finishes the left side, moves right. More hair falls. Andrea's reflection shows in the window. Patches of scalp. Asymmetry. Almost done. Munson sounds pleased. Gotta be thorough. He's not checking, he's erasing. Stripping authority, dignity, power. But power doesn't live in hair, it lives in knowledge, in documentation, in the legal system. Final pass. Andrea's head is shaved, air on her scalp. Strange, vulnerable. Munson grabs a spray bottle. Delousing spray, department policy. No such policy. Andrea knows, but resistance is futile. The chemical hits her scalp, burns, stings, harsh smell. Her eyes water. Munson holds up a mirror, shoves it at her. Take a good look, Your Honor. What happens when people forget their place? Andrea looks. Bare scalp. Her face, her eyes. Not defeat, clarity. They just created the most powerful evidence. They violated a federal judge using the same method as Maria Martinez. 8 other women, all black, all natural hair, all fabricated. Are we done? Andrea asks. When I say, Munson unplugs the clippers. Holding 3, no phone call. Kramer pulls Andrea up. Marches her down the hallway. Dimmer lights, colder, cell 3, unlocked, pushed inside, small, metal bench, toilet, door clangs. Andrea sits, touches her head once. Not grief, measuring, memorizing. She'll testify. Describe everything, footsteps, voices. Kramer. Secure, no problems. Voice. Phone call logged? Munson. What phone call? Laughter. Andrea lies down. Thin mattress, closes her eyes. Not sleep, think, tomorrow, 10:30, emergency hearing. Eric will notice, call, escalate. The system notices missing federal judges, then everything unravels. Body cameras recorded, witnesses saw, evidence exists. She touches her scalp again, the texture memorized now. When she testifies about this violation, every detail will be precise, clinical, undeniable. Munson and Kramer think they've broken her. Think humiliation equals control. They're wrong. They've created evidence. They've documented their own crimes. They've proven Maria Martinez was telling the truth. And Monday morning in courtroom 6, every second of what they did tonight will be played for the world to see. Badge 4856. She counted, she memorized, she documented, now she waits. 2 a.m. Officer Tyler Brooks sits in the break room with cold coffee. The booking area is quiet. His shift ended 20 minutes ago. He can't leave. He keeps seeing Judge Thomas in that chair, her hair on the floor, Munson's voice. If you make it to Monday, Brooks joined Metro PD 8 months ago. Fresh from academy, idealistic about serving his community. His training officer said, keep your head down, learn from veterans like Munson, don't question. But tonight wasn't procedure. Brooks knows. He's memorized the manual. Hair removal requires medical justification and supervisor approval. There was no justification, and Kramer, who approved, is under federal investigation. He pulls out his phone, opens the department's secure terminal app, searches for Andrea Thomas. The entry exists. Processed 11:23 p.m. But something's wrong. The arrest reason says broken tail light, failure to comply, suspicious behavior. No mention of hair removal, no delousing spray. The body cam footage should have everything. Brooks navigates to the body cam server. Every camera uploads automatically. Cloud storage. Can't be deleted without federal IT authorization. He finds Kramer's feed, clicks play, starts at 10:58 p.m. He fast-forwards through the traffic stop, watches them pull over Judge Thomas, watches Munson examine her judicial ID under his flashlight, show it to Kramer. They knew who she was. Before booking, this was targeted. Brooks continues, transport, booking, hair removal, all of it. Munson with clippers, Kramer holding her down, hair falling, delousing spray, the mirror, the degradation. If you make it to Monday, that's a threat. Clear, recorded. Munson threatened a federal judge. Brooks's hands shake as he screenshots the upload confirmation. Bodycam uploaded 11:52 p.m. Irreversible cloud backup, 7-day retention minimum. He saves screenshots to his personal phone. If anyone buries this, he has proof the footage exists. But what now? He's a rookie. 8 months, no credibility, no power. Who believes him over decorated officers? The captain is off duty. And everyone knows the captain protects senior officers. That's how Munson and Kramer lasted 12 years despite complaints. The door opens. Another officer, night shift, getting coffee. You okay, Brooks? You look sick. Long night. Finishing paperwork. The officer nods, gets coffee, leaves. Brooks waits, then searches for county attorney's civil rights division. Anonymous tip line. 24 hours. His finger hovers over call. If they trace this, his career ends. Munson makes sure, labeled a rat, blackballed, fired for performance issues. But if he doesn't call, Judge Thomas sits in a cell while her violators walk free. He thinks about why he became a cop, not to protect bad officers, not to enforce injustice, to help people, to do right. He presses call. 3 rings. County Attorney Civil Rights Division anonymous tip line. Brooks keeps his voice low. Calling about Metro Police 12th Precinct tonight. Federal judge brought in on false traffic stop, subjected to grooming violations, hair forcibly removed, delousing spray, all on body camera. Officers knew who she was. This was retaliation. Names? Judge Andrea Thomas. Officers Derek Munson and Lisa Kramer. They're defendants in a federal case she's hearing. Emergency hearing scheduled this morning at 10:30. Typing speeds up. Evidence? Body cam uploaded to cloud 11:52 p.m. Booking system has case number. But they're altering the log. They'll try to bury it. Your name? Brooks hesitates. Anonymous. But the footage exists. Get it before it disappears. He hangs, heart pounding. No going back. The door opens. Sergeant Kramer. She looks at Brooks with narrowed eyes. Still here? Finishing coffee. Munson and I are writing the incident report. Need everyone on the same page. She moves closer. You were at booking. What did you observe? A test, making sure he backs their version. Standard booking procedure, Brooks says carefully. Subject processed according to protocol. Kramer studies him. Looking for cracks. Brooks keeps his face neutral. Good. She nods. That's what goes in your report. Standard procedure. Nothing unusual. Understood? Understood. Kramer leaves. Brooks waits 5 minutes, grabs his jacket, walks out. Night air hits cold, cleansing. He sits in his car. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. Tip received. Under review. Case assigned. They responded. County attorney taking it seriously. But will they move fast enough? 2:36 a.m. Judge Thomas in that cell over 3 hours. Emergency hearing in 8 hours. These things take time. Forms, supervisors. Investigations. They won't move fast enough unless something forces their hand. Brooks searches for federal courthouse contact information. Emergency judicial services line for when judges can't be reached. If he calls, they'll know something's wrong immediately. Federal judges don't disappear. The system responds. But calling means admitting he knows where she is. His anonymous tip isn't anonymous anymore. Brooks sits in the parking lot, engine off, night quiet. He can walk away, pretend tonight never happened, keep his job, keep his future, or make one more call, risk everything, do right. He thinks about Judge Thomas in that cell, hair on the floor, Munson's threat. He makes the call. Federal Courthouse Emergency Services. Judge Andrea Thomas is being illegally detained at Metro Police 12th Precinct. Held without phone privileges over 3 hours. She's scheduled for emergency hearing 10:30 this morning. This is Officer Tyler Brooks, Metro PD, badge 3491. I'm calling because this is wrong and someone needs to know. He gives details, everything. When he finishes, stay on the line, conferring with duty magistrate. Brooks waits. His career probably ends, but at least he'll sleep tonight. The operator returns. Marshal dispatch en route. Your statement recorded. Officer Brooks, you may be called as a witness. I understand. You did the right thing. Brooks hangs up, sits in his car. The right thing just cost him his career. But some things matter more than careers. He starts his engine and drives home. When he closes his eyes later, he won't see Judge Thomas's hair on the floor. He'll see himself making the call that brought her home. That's enough. 7 a.m., Eric Bennett arrives at the federal courthouse, 3.5 hours before the emergency hearing. He prepares early, organizes exhibits, files documents, everything ready for Judge Thomas. He swipes his key card at her chambers. Lights are off. Her desk is exactly as yesterday, coffee mug in the same spot. Martinez file on the corner. Eric checks his phone. No messages from Judge Thomas. He sent 3 emails last night. She always responds within an hour. Nothing. He calls her cell, straight to voicemail. Unusual. Judge Thomas keeps her phone on always, reachable 24/7. He tries again. Voicemail. Concern prickles. Maybe her phone died. Maybe simple explanation. But the Martinez hearing is in 3 hours. Judge Thomas would never be unreachable this close. Eric calls courthouse security. Has Judge Thomas checked in? No, sir, haven't seen her. Yesterday evening? Left around 4:30, headed to parking garage. Eric hangs, paces. Something's wrong. He calls police non-emergency. Trying to locate Judge Andrea Thomas, Federal District Court Judge, unreachable since yesterday. The dispatcher types. Let me check for incidents or reports. Full name and address. Eric provides information. Long pause. Not showing any incidents, no accidents, no hospital transports. Traffic stops. Anything? More typing. That's odd. Let me verify. Pause. No traffic stops logged for that name in 24 hours. Eric's stomach drops. The dispatcher sounds confused, like she's seeing something that doesn't match, like maybe a record was removed. Thank you. He hangs. Immediately calls Chief Federal Judge Patricia Morrison. Eric, 7 a.m. on Saturday. Judge Morrison, can't reach Judge Thomas, not answering, not at courthouse. Left yesterday 4:30, nobody's heard from her. Martinez emergency hearing in 3 hours. Silence. Then, called hospitals? Police say no accidents. Family? She lives alone. No immediate family here. Judge Morrison's voice sharpens. I'm calling U.S. Marshals. Federal judges don't disappear. Stay at courthouse. Get Martinez file ready. Judge Patterson covers if we can't locate her. Eric hangs, opens his laptop, starts preparing. But his hands shake. Judge Thomas reviewed Munson's deposition yesterday, said it was problematic, said Munson was lying. Now she's missing the night before ruling. Not coincidence. Eric pulls up the Martinez file, scrolls to the hair removal incident description, reads carefully. Same procedure Munson and Kramer allegedly used on 8 women. What if they used it on Judge Thomas? His phone rings. Unknown number. This is Eric Bennett. Deputy U.S. Marshal Sarah Chen. Judge Morrison contacted us about Judge Thomas. We're initiating search. Need her last known location and vehicle information. Eric provides everything. Parking garage, car description, license plate. We'll start there. Prepare for hearing to proceed without her. Judge Patterson presides. But Mr. Bennett, if Judge Thomas is missing under suspicious circumstances, this case just became serious. The line goes dead. Eric opens email. Messages the Martinez plaintiff's attorney. Judge Thomas missing. Marshals searching. Hearing proceeding with Judge Patterson. Advise client. He hits send. Outside, sun rises over the courthouse. Saturday morning. Should be quiet. Nothing about today will be routine. 11:15 a.m. U.S. Marshals arrive at Metro Police 12th Precinct. 3 marshals, full authority. They walk straight to the desk sergeant. Deputy Marshal Sarah Chen flashes her badge. Looking for Judge Andrea Thomas, Federal District Court. Last seen yesterday. Her vehicle is parked 3 blocks from here with broken taillight. The desk sergeant looks uncomfortable. We don't have any federal judges in custody. Check your booking logs last night, 10 p.m. to midnight. The sergeant types slowly, stalling. Not seeing anyone by that name. Chen leans over and turns the monitor toward herself. Scrolls. This shows you booked a woman 11:23 p.m. No name listed. That violates logging procedures. System glitch. Where's your night shift supervisor? Off duty. Call them, now. Deputy Chief Raymond Kolb appears from a back hallway, uniform pressed, face composed, eyes flick to monitors showing booking area. Marshals, I'm Deputy Chief Kolb. How can I help? Federal judge missing. Her car was found near your precinct. We need to search your facility. Do you have a warrant? Chen smiles, not friendly. I don't need a warrant to locate a missing federal judge. You can cooperate, or I lock down this precinct and bring FBI. Your choice. Kolb's jaw tightens. We'll cooperate, but we don't have any federal judges. Then you won't mind if we check holding cells. Be my guest. Kolb leads them toward holding. As they walk, Chen notices a rookie officer near booking, watching them. Face pale, hand moving toward his radio. Chen makes eye contact. The rookie's eyes widen, then he looks away. He knows something. They reach holding. 6 cells, 5 empty. The 6th contains Andrea Thomas. She's sitting on the metal bench. Head shaved clean, clothes wrinkled, but when she stands, her posture is straight, eyes clear. Judge Thomas. Relief floods Chen. Are you all right? Unharmed. Andrea's voice is steady, professional, but Chen sees tension in her shoulders. I've been held here since approximately 11:30 p.m. yesterday. No phone call, no attorney, no charges filed. Kolb's face drains color. There must be a mistake. Open the cell, Chen orders. Kolb fumbles with keys. The cell opens. Andrea walks out slowly, with dignity, like entering a courtroom instead of leaving a jail. Chen gestures to the other marshals. Secure this area. No one touches anything. Federal investigation scene. Investigation? Kolb sputters. On what grounds? Unlawful detention of a federal judge. Civil rights violations. Obstruction. Chen lists them calmly. Should I continue? Andrea speaks quietly. Deputy Chief Kolb, I'm the presiding judge in Martinez versus Metro Police Department, case 24 CV 9134. Emergency hearing scheduled for, she checks the wall clock, 9 minutes from now. Officers Derek Munson and Lisa Kramer are lead defendants. They conducted the traffic stop. They processed my booking. They forcibly removed my hair without legal justification. The hallway goes silent. Chen turns to her marshals. Find officers Munson and Kramer. Detain for questioning. Secure all body camera footage from last night. Get me booking logs. Real ones, not scrubbed. Marshals, we can resolve this misunderstanding. Kolb tries. This isn't a misunderstanding. Chen's voice cuts. This is a federal crime scene. Judge Thomas, we need to transport you to courthouse. Can you walk? Andrea nods. I can walk. As they escort her toward the exit, Andrea looks back once at the holding cell, at the evidence. Then she walks forward, toward the courthouse, toward justice. The rookie officer, Brooks, watches from near the booking desk. His expression is relief mixed with fear. Andrea catches his eye, nods slightly. He did the right thing. Outside, the morning sun is bright. Cold air hits Andrea's face. Freedom tastes different after 13 hours in a cell. Chen opens the marshal vehicle door. Judge Thomas, what they did to you is going to destroy their careers. Andrea looks at her reflection in the vehicle window, at her bare head, at the evidence they created when they thought they were breaking her. I know, Andrea says. That's exactly what's going to happen. The marshals drive Andrea straight to the federal courthouse. 12:30 p.m. The emergency hearing was delayed 90 minutes. Andrea sits in the back. They returned her phone. 128 messages. Eric, court staff, colleagues, everyone looking. She doesn't listen yet. First, she needs to see herself. Process what happened. Marshal Chen notices. There's a private restroom in the courthouse lobby. Take your time. They pull into the secure garage. Protected entrance. No reporters yet. Chen escorts Andrea to the restroom. I'll be outside. Andrea enters alone. Clean, quiet, large mirror, good lighting. She approaches slowly, forces herself to look. Her head is shaved completely. Skin smooth, exposed, different. She touches her scalp gently. Feels the texture. Strange, vulnerable, changed. 23 years of growth, law school, first trial, judicial confirmation, gone in 5 minutes of deliberate cruelty. But she's still standing, still herself, still Judge Andrea Thomas. The authority is still there, the mind, the training. They can't shave that away. Andrea pulls out her phone, opens camera, takes 3 photos, different angles, timestamp visible, documentation. She emails them to herself. Subject line, evidence, booking incident, November 9th, 2024. Then she washes her hands, straightens her clothes. One more look in the mirror. Not defeat, transformation. From victim to witness, from judge to plaintiff. She opens the door. Chen is waiting. Ready? Chen asks. Ready. They walk through the courthouse lobby. People stop, stare, whisper, word spread. The missing judge found. Something terrible happened. Andrea keeps her head high, steps steady. She doesn't hide, doesn't rush. She walks like she belongs, because she does. The elevator doors close. Chen speaks quietly. Judge Thomas, what they did will destroy their careers. Andrea looks at her reflection in the polished doors, at her bare head, at the evidence they created. I know, Andrea says. The elevator rises. Andrea touches her scalp once more, measuring the feeling. When she testifies, every detail will be precise. Monday morning, Officers Munson and Kramer walk into federal court for their civil rights trial. They'll look up from the defendant's table and see her face. Then they'll understand what they've done. Monday morning, 9 a.m., courtroom 6 is packed. The Martinez emergency hearing postponed from Saturday. Now everyone knows why. A federal judge detained by the department she's hearing a case against. Andrea enters from chambers, wearing her robes, head still shaved. She wears it like evidence now. Proof of what happened. Proof Martinez was telling the truth. The courtroom goes silent. Every eye tracks her. Spectator gallery full. Reporters line the back, 3 sketch artists in front. Martinez plaintiff's attorneys look shocked. Metro PD defense attorneys look terrified. Andrea sits, arranges papers, takes a breath, looks out. This court will come to order. Her voice is clear, strong. Before we proceed with Martinez versus Metro Police Department, I need to make a disclosure on the record. The court reporter's fingers hover. On Saturday evening, November 7th, I was pulled over by Metro police officers at approximately 11 p.m. The officers were Derek Munson and Lisa Kramer, both named defendants in this case. I was transported to Metro Police 12th Precinct and subjected to booking procedures including forcible hair removal without legal justification. I was held without phone access or attorney for approximately 13 hours. I was released Sunday afternoon after U.S. Marshals located me. The courtroom erupts. Reporters rush for doors. Defense attorneys huddle frantically. Maria Martinez sits in front with tears streaming. Andrea waits for silence. Given these events, I'm recusing myself from any criminal proceedings against Officers Munson and Kramer. However, this civil rights case will proceed. My experience doesn't create conflict. If anything, it provides direct insight into the departmental procedures at issue. The lead defense attorney stands, voice shaking. Your Honor, we request a continuance. Denied. Andrea's tone is ice. We're proceeding today. The plaintiff has waited long enough. She turns to the clerk. Enter into evidence the complete body camera footage from my detention. All angles, full audio. Automatically uploaded to cloud server 11:52 p.m. November 7th. A marshal approaches with a laptop. Video already queued. Clerk connects to courtroom displays. 3 large monitors positioned for jury box, attorneys, gallery. Andrea nods. Play the footage. The video begins. Saturday night, 11:03 p.m. Munson and Kramer conducting the traffic stop. Audio crystal clear. Munson. License and registration. Andrea. I'm complying, officer, reaching for my purse now. The courtroom watches Andrea hand over documents. Watches Munson examine her judicial ID under flashlight. Show it to Kramer. Defense attorney tries to stand. Your Honor, this footage is prejudicial. Sit down, counselor. This is pattern and practice evidence. Exactly what your clients are charged with. The footage continues. Transport, booking, then the conversation that damns them. Munson on tape. Step out of the vehicle. Andrea. Why? This is routine. Munson. Safety search. Andrea. I'm a federal judge. My identification is in the wallet. The courtroom leans forward. The moment they learned who they pulled over. Kramer's voice. She says she's a judge. Munson, looking directly at the judicial ID. I can see that. Then handcuffs her anyway. The video shifts to booking. Brooks processing intake. Munson dumping belongings on counter. Judicial ID clearly visible. Official seal catching fluorescent light. Brooks. Sir, she says she's... Munson. I heard. Process her like anyone else. Footage shows Brooks picking up the ID. Hands shaking. Face pale. Brooks. This looks official. Shouldn't we verify? Kramer. Brooks, do your job. Or find another precinct. Andrea watches the courtroom. Watches defense attorneys realize their clients knew from the beginning. Video continues to hair removal. Harder to watch. Andrea forces herself to observe clinically. As evidence. Munson. We got a suspicious detainee, Kramer. Could be hiding contraband in all that hair. Andrea's voice calm. There's no policy for this. You know there's no policy. Munson. Policy is whatever I say. Clippers turn on. Buzzing fills courtroom speakers. People shift uncomfortably. Some look away, but the camera doesn't. It captures everything. Every pass, every chunk falling. Kramer's hands pressing down. Brooks, frozen. Then Munson's voice sealing his fate. Your Honor can file a complaint Monday, if you make it to Monday. Courtroom gasps. Even defense attorneys look horrified. Direct threat against a federal judge. Recorded on official equipment. Video continues. Delousing spray. Mirror shoved at her. Munson's final taunt. Take a good look, Your Honor. This is what happens when people forget their place. Footage ends. Courtroom sits stunned. Andrea lets the silence build. Lets the weight settle. That footage was automatically uploaded. Officers Munson and Kramer knew their cameras were recording. They proceeded anyway. She gestures to the clerk. Bring up the second layer. Booking logs from November 7th. Monitors switch to split screen. 2 logs, side by side. On the left is the original booking log from 11:23 p.m., retrieved from system backup. On the right is the corrected log created Sunday morning at 8:15 a.m. by Deputy Chief Raymond Kolb. The differences are stark. Original log identifies Andrea Thomas by name. Lists occupation as federal judge. Notes hair removal. Corrected log removes her name. Changes occupation to unemployed. Deletes hair removal reference. Deputy Chief Kolb attempted to erase evidence. However, the system maintains automatic backups. His corrections created additional evidence of consciousness of guilt. Andrea turns to the marshal by the door. Please bring in Officer Tyler Brooks. Brooks enters in uniform. Terrified but determined. Takes the witness stand. Andrea administers oath personally. Officer Brooks, you were present during my booking. What did you observe? Brooks's voice is quiet but clear. I observed Officer Munson and Sergeant Kramer forcibly removing your hair, Your Honor. I observed them acknowledge your judicial identification. I observed them proceed despite knowing your position. Did you attempt to intervene? I tried to question the procedure twice. Sergeant Kramer shut me down, threatened my position if I didn't comply. What did you do after? Brooks breathes. I accessed the body camera footage, took screenshots of upload confirmations, called County Attorney's Civil Rights Division, filed anonymous tip, then called Federal Courthouse Emergency Line because I knew you had a hearing and they needed to know where you were. Thank you, Officer Brooks. Your courage won't be forgotten. Andrea turns to defense table. Counselors, I'm entering the third layer. Internal affairs records for Officers Munson and Kramer. Monitors display the records, page after page, complaint after complaint. Officer Derek Munson, 23 complaints over 12 years, 11 excessive force, 8 dignity violations against black women, pattern including grooming violations identical to mine. She scrolls. Sergeant Lisa Kramer, 17 complaints over 10 years, 6 supervisory failure, 9 retaliation against complainants, 3 hair removal without justification. Courtroom silent. The pattern is undeniable, systematic, intentional. And yet both remained on duty. Both received promotions, both protected by departmental leadership, including Deputy Chief Kolb, who destroyed evidence of my detention. She looks at defense attorneys. The plaintiff, Maria Martinez, claimed she was subjected to the exact same procedure, by the same officers, under the same fabricated justification. This court dismissed those claims as insufficiently supported. Andrea pauses. I was wrong. Maria Martinez was telling the truth, and I apologize to her publicly. Maria Martinez is crying, her attorney's hand on her shoulder. Andrea straightens papers. This court is issuing orders. First, Officers Munson and Kramer are immediately suspended without pay pending criminal investigation. Second, Deputy Chief Kolb is suspended for evidence tampering. Third, all cases involving these officers over 5 years will be reviewed for civil rights violations. Fourth, the Martinez lawsuit is amended to include pattern and practice charges. Fifth, my detention is entered as Exhibit A. Sixth, Officer Brooks is granted whistleblower protection and commended. She looks at the packed courtroom, at reporters, at cameras, at defendants who thought they could walk away. This institution failed Maria Martinez and at least 8 other women. This institution protected officers who abused power. This institution prioritized loyalty over justice. That ends today. Andrea brings down her gavel. The crack echoes. Court recesses 30 minutes. When we reconvene, we'll begin settlement negotiations. Counselors, I suggest your clients prepare generous offers, because if this goes to trial, every piece of evidence you saw will be public record. Every news outlet will run that footage. Every jury will hear those threats. Every officer in this department will be associated with what was done to a federal judge. She stands. The courtroom stands, not in procedural respect, in recognition, acknowledgement, justice. Andrea walks to chambers, bare head held high. Behind her, defense attorneys are on phones, making calls, emergency meetings, understanding everything just changed. Badge 4856, she remembered. Now everyone else will too. 3 weeks later, federal grand jury indictments come down, 26 pages, 7 counts each for Munson and Kramer, 9 for Deputy Chief Kolb. Munson faces assault under color of law, deprivation of civil rights, hate crime enhancement, threats against a federal official, conspiracy. Maximum 15 years federal prison. Kramer faces aiding and abetting, supervisory liability, deprivation of rights, conspiracy, witness intimidation. Maximum 12 years. Kolb faces obstruction of justice, evidence tampering, conspiracy, official misconduct, abuse of authority. Maximum 10 years. All plead not guilty. Their lawyers issue statements about misunderstandings, about dedicated officers under pressure. The body camera footage says otherwise, goes viral. 40 million views first week. Every news network runs segments. Legal experts analyze every frame. Civil rights organizations call for systemic reform. Martinez case settles 6 weeks later. $46 million to Maria Martinez and 33 other plaintiffs who come forward after coverage. Every woman has similar stories. Hair removal, delousing spray, humiliation designed to break them. The settlement includes consent decree, 5 years federal monitoring, complete booking procedure overhaul, mandatory body cameras that can't be disabled, third-party civilian review board with real investigative authority, anonymous reporting for officers witnessing misconduct. Natural hair protection statute passes state legislature 3 months later, named the Thomas Martinez Act. Prohibits forcible hair removal during booking unless medically necessary and documented. Violations carry automatic civil liability and criminal penalties. 6 other cities adopt similar policies. The movement spreads. One violation becomes national conversation about dignity in detention. Officer Tyler Brooks is promoted to detective, assigned to reformed internal affairs. His first task? Reviewing every case Munson and Kramer touched over a decade. Hundreds of arrests. Dozens showing abuse patterns. Brooks works methodically, documenting everything, preparing civil rights reviews. Some nights he can't sleep. Thinks about times he could have spoken up before Judge Thomas. Times he saw wrong things but didn't act. He can't change the past, but he can make the future different. Andrea returns to the bench 4 days after detention. Colleagues suggest medical leave, process trauma. She declines. The best response is continuing her work, showing they didn't break her. They only revealed themselves. Her courtroom becomes busier. Lawyers request her for civil rights cases. Plaintiffs trust her. They know she understands powerlessness in the system. Authority figures abusing power, being violated and dismissed. She presides with fairness but no patience for misconduct. When officers lie, she calls it out. When departments hide evidence, she orders sanctions. When institutions protect abusers, she holds them accountable. Her hair doesn't grow back the same. She keeps it short, a reminder, not a violation, of survival, transformation. When she looks in mirrors, she sees strength, evidence of survival. Proof dignity can't be shaved away. 7 months later, the criminal trial begins. Munson, Kramer, and Kolb face a jury of 12. Prosecution calls 43 witnesses, plays hours of body camera footage, presents hundreds of internal affairs pages. Defense argues officers followed training, didn't intend harm, misunderstanding blown out of proportion. The jury doesn't buy it. Footage shows intent. Threats show consciousness of wrongdoing. Pattern shows systematic abuse. Andrea testifies day 4. Not the judge, the victim, the witness. The proof the system failed. She walks to the stand in a navy suit, short hair styled professionally, takes the oath, looks at Munson and Kramer at defense table. They won't meet her eyes. Prosecutor asks her to describe what happened. She does, clinically, precisely. Every detail documented, no emotion needed. Facts speak. When Officer Munson held clippers to my head, he told me I could file a complaint Monday if I made it to Monday. What did you interpret? I interpreted it as a threat. He was implying I might not survive to file, that my detention could continue indefinitely or result in harm. How did that make you feel? Andrea pauses. Powerless, terrified, but also clear. Because I knew in that moment everything Maria Martinez described was true. Every violation, every abuse, every dismissal. I knew because I was experiencing it. The prosecutor asks about hair removal. Andrea describes it. The pull, the sound hitting floor, delousing spray burning, Kramer's hands pressing, Brooks frozen. Did anyone intervene? Officer Brooks tried twice to question procedure. Both times Sergeant Kramer shut him down. But later, after I was in the cell, he made calls that saved me. He risked his career to do right. Defense cross-examines. Tries to suggest Andrea could have identified herself earlier, could have prevented misunderstanding, could have complied differently. Andrea's response is sharp. I identified myself immediately. I showed my judicial ID. Officer Munson and Sergeant Kramer saw it, read it, acknowledged it, then proceeded anyway. This wasn't misunderstanding, this was retaliation. Jury deliberates 4 hours, returns with verdict, unanimous, guilty on all counts, all 3 defendants, every charge, sentencing 6 weeks later. Munson gets 14 years, Kramer gets 11, Kolb gets 9. Andrea attends sentencing, not as judge, as witness to justice. She sits in gallery and watches them led away in handcuffs. Afterward, Maria Martinez approaches outside courthouse. They hug. 2 women connected by violation but defined by survival. Thank you for believing me, Maria says. I'm sorry it took this for me to understand, Andrea replies. They stand together for photos, 2 survivors. One system learning to change. 1 year after detention, Andrea speaks at a national judicial conference. Topic: accountability and reform. She stands at the podium, short hair caught in stage lights. Power without accountability corrupts. We are guardians of justice. That means we must see injustice even when uncomfortable, especially when uncomfortable. The system only reforms when abusers face consequences, real consequences, not transfers, not desk duty, consequences. She pauses, looks at hundreds of judges, some nodding, some uncomfortable. Good. Discomfort drives change. 3 officers thought they could violate me and walk away. They were wrong. Not because I'm a judge, because no one deserves what they did. Not Maria Martinez, not the 33 others, not anyone in custody. Dignity is not negotiable. Power doesn't grant permission for abuse. Justice delayed is injustice continued. The audience stands. Applause lasts 2 minutes. Andrea accepts it, not for herself. For every person violated and dismissed, for every silenced voice, for every buried complaint. Back in chambers that evening, Andrea reviews a new case. Another civil rights complaint, another abuse pattern, another institution protecting wrongdoers. She picks up her pen, runs her hand over her short hair. It's a choice now, her choice, reclaimed. The work continues. Justice requires vigilance. She's watching.